Heleen.
Sam.
Profilogist. Is that right? Am I saying it right?
Profilogist, yes.
and you, the product you are putting through out there is called brain profiling. How did this come about? Tell us the story. How did you come across this powerful tool that you are so passionate about that we can talk about the whole day from my experience of engaging with you?
Absolutely. I was still busy with my calendars and diaries venture when my daughter had to make subject choices and career choices. And I didn't want her to be so uncertain and not having the tools that I didn't have when I was in matric. So I've researched a lot, and I got hold of Dr. Annette Lauter-Martins, who is the owner of Ed.3, and she's doing the genetic brain profiling. She is the establisher of what Ed.3 is all about. So I got my daughter assessed at her, and wow, Sam, I was just, I don't know, I think flabbergasted is just this wow word for this. And we've only not only just assessed her, we've assessed the whole family, and it's made such a tremendous impact on each of us individually as well as on our family dynamics, and even between me and my husband, and with us and our relationships with them, that I just knew I need to do this. I need to do this. I always had a compassion for people, and I just knew there's so many people out there. There's so many kids out there that needs to know about this, so that they can understand themselves better, so that when they need to make choices, they can really make the right choices.
So it's a very powerful tool for career guidance and study choices and career choices.
Absolutely.
Or for life in general, based on what you've just said now.
Absolutely. Just to give you a short introduction of what genetic brain profiling actually is and what we assess dominance. So we assess the dominance of your brain, whether you left brain dominance or right brain dominance. And then we also assess the eyes, the ears, the hands, and the feet. And once we know this, we know how you would actually react under normal circumstances when you're happy and all is well. But especially what happens to you when you go into stress. Because when we go into stress, first of all, physically, that happens to our body. Our heart starts beating faster. So when our heart starts beating faster, the body automatically thinks he needs to go into survival mode, and then he switches off your non-dominant side. And then is where the problem comes in, and you can't operate and be the best that you can be in a situation. You will struggle to deal with confrontation, with problem solving, and we can carry on like that. So stress has such a big impact on how we react and how we perceive information. So, that's the exciting thing. If you know that and you understand it, you can manage it. so that you can better the circumstances.
So how do you go about assessing people? Do you interview them? Do they complete a questionnaire? How is that? How is that done?
The assessment, and that's a great thing, especially now with this COVID-19 situation. We can do an online assessment. So it's a lot of questions that you just need to answer, and by the answers that you give, we can establish where your dominants are, and then what we do when it gets to the hands, because a lot of people are actually left-hand dominant, but they right-hand functional. So that means that they've actually learned to write with their right hand, but they were actually born to write with their left hand. And what I do now, because previously when I used to assess people while they're sitting in front of me, I watch them when they're writing, completing a form, or the kids just writing their name on a form. But what I do now is they just take me a little video to show me while they're writing. And in the way they hold their pen, we pick it up whether they're actually left-hand dominant or right-hand dominant. So at the moment, at least that's the great thing of my service, is that we can do it online.
When I grew up in my culture or practice, I grew up in Skukuneland in Limpopo.
Yes.
We were not allowed to do anything with our left hand because I don't know for what reason. It was like, you can't use your left hand. Everything you do, you have to use your right hand. So I just grew up knowing that the left hand is not the hand you can do things with. You can't greet people with a left hand. Don't write with your left hand. Don't eat with your left hand. Everything right hand. I always wondered if I lose my right hand, I'm in trouble.
Sam, and you know what? It's actually so sad. Because remember, your hand always work out of the opposite brain. So if you are busy writing with your right hand, there's actually functioning in your left brain. And if you were to pick up a glass or something with your left hand, there's physical functioning in your right brain. So it always works crossover.
So if I want to train my right brain, I must do things with my left hand and the left foot.
Correct. Absolutely correct. That is great if you can do that, because then you stimulate the opposite brain and you're not always just utilizing the one side of your brain, especially if you like right-handed and right-footed, It's great to do, like brush your teeth. If you kick a ball, kick it with your left foot, to have stimulation on the opposite brain as well.
I must remember that, because it is important to take care of the development of our brain.
It's very important, and at the end of the day, we want whole brain function. And if you develop the other side as well, if it comes in a stressful situation, it will take the non-dominant brain a longer time to switch off if it's strong as well. So it's very important that we try and utilize. And that's why crossover exercises is so important. And it starts with little babies. They need to crawl. If some babies, they just don't want to crawl, you must do everything possible to get them to crawl. So that's the start of the very important crossover working of the brain.
I remember growing up and playing football, and because I was only using right foot, but I just took a decision to practice my left foot, playing a tennis ball with my left foot. And little did I know that I was actually training my left foot to a point where my left foot became more effective and accurate in playing the game of football than my right foot. So that means I was actually strengthening my right brain.
Yes, and you were also, because you know what, and you can have a look, some of the greatest soccer players are actually playing with their left foot.
Yes.
If you're left foot dominant, you naturally have the ability to quicker swerve out.
Yes.
So you can change direction much quicker. While the right foot people, they tend to, especially if they're under stress, by default, they just want to go straight. You know, it's like when you watch a rugby game and you just see this guy is just running right into the bundle of players, and you think to yourself, can he not swerve, you know? But if he's under such stress and he is right foot dominant,
Yes.
by default, he would just want it to run straight. While the left foot person will, 1 to 3, can quickly change direction. Also, lots of good hockey players, they're left-footed, you know, because they can swerve and change direction quickly. But I want to stress the fact, and I don't want to lose this because it's very important, and I found lots of frustration and problems out there coming back to you, telling me that you were not allowed to use your left hand. But when it comes to learning abilities, now, if you actually left-hand dominant, you are born, because remember, the genetic brain profile is genetic. So you like that since you are born. It's not changing. So now you are born with a hand that's supposed to do your writing function and operate out of your right brain. But now you use your right hand. So first of all, your dominant hand is not doing the writing, and now your left brain must do a function that he's not being born to do. And we say sometimes there's like a glitch in the system. And especially if that child is under stress, he can have a struggle to get information from his left brain and actually struggle to write it on the paper. So even if he knows his work, he might struggle to actually pinpoint it and put that answer on the paper when he's writing an exam. So, yes, and that unfortunately happens so much out there. Even when it gets to spelling, it has a very big influence in a lot of people with regards to spelling. I must say I was so grateful when I just started it with this profiling. My eldest son, he was then in grade 4, and that was when they started to do cursive writing. And cursive writing was a nightmare for him. He couldn't finish his work. When he had to write exams, sometimes you can't even read what he was writing. So luckily it was just in the beginning of the year, and when she done the assessment, she said to me, please, we need to get him to write in print. It would be so much easier, and we could do a letter to the school so so he's not, he doesn't need to do the cursive writing. He can actually print. Because remember now, the brain is used to print. Because since a little baby, when you read the books, it's in just normal print. It's not in cursive writing. So it just came so much easier for him to finish his work, to actually see what he's writing. So, and that is important if we can get so many more kids out there that we know, even before they really start with writing at school, where the dominances are.
And it's important for them to understand this phenomenon to a point where they actually understand self, so that they know what to do to grow which part of their brain, and also to challenge themselves, because I feel that this is part of self-knowledge, and this is now happen to be self-knowledge of your genetic inheritance.
That is absolutely true, Sam. And if you know that, and if you understand that, you can just so better cope with surroundings and with your challenges. And even before a big thing is happening, you can actually make changes so that it won't affect you as bad as if you weren't aware of it. And I think that's the very important thing of us as human beings. It doesn't matter in what industry or where you are, on a continuous basis, you need to try and improve yourself and get more knowledge of yourself and how you operate and what is working for you. Because if you can find that and you can be happy within yourself, it is good for your relationships, it's good for your school work, it's good for your working environment, and you can just be, at the end of the day, the best possible you that you can be.
You know, your explanation, it's so practical. I was listening very attentively when you were giving an example of the left-footed sportsmen and women. If you think of it, there are two very famous players. Lionel Messi at Barcelona, who's left-footed. I mean, he can turn at any point and just lose the rest of the opposition team players. And that's a left-footed. Then you're talking about right-footed, and I think of Ronaldo. Ronaldo, if he really wants to score a goal, he bulldozes you, he just goes. So Ronaldo is a hard worker, and Messi is a really tricky star left-footed player. And if you go further and look in tennis, I love tennis very well. I mean, there was a player called Ivan Lendl. That guy had a left-hander of note. You know, the aces that will come out of that left hand. And then you go into boxing as well. The left-handed boxers were very quick, you know. So
absolutely. That is so true, Sam. That is great examples. And you know what? When it gets to the left hand, the left hand has this, sometimes it just like tweaks.
Yeah.
So, and it's a natural thing. So it's not even something that the person has control over, but it can have such a big influence on his sporting abilities. Even if you have a left-hand bowler, he would bowl, and just as the other guy thinks, okay, I know exactly what ball is coming to me. Without him doing anything, just naturally, if that wrist like sort of twist,
yes,
it just throws out the whole regular thing. And that is the amazing thing. The other amazing thing of the left hand gives you the ability of dealing with confrontation or communication in different ways. That is what we learn out of left-hand people. They also, especially if they left-hand with a right brain, lots of your actors have those dominances, because if they're stressing, the left brain can switch off. Their way of communicating is still good, and they can carry on with it. So, so that is the great thing when you know all these traits of the different modalities.
So it's quite very easy to explain with action type of career like sports. So you are saying that the same way you look at it from sports, it can be in any other profession, say in policing or in nursing or in whatever profession, the same impact applies. Yeah?
Yes, I'm sorry. And the great thing is we can actually take any career out there, and we have a whole chart where we can compare it with a specific career. So we can see naturally, is this person naturally good in sales, or working with people, or empathy with people, all that kind of things that you can see. A big thing that's happening in the environment out there is we have left ear dominant people, and if a left ear dominant person is working in an open office environment, it is extremely hard for that person to concentrate, because left ears, they're your good listeners. So they naturally want to hear everybody's stories without them being a bad worker. They just find themselves listening to what everybody is talking about. So if they're in an open office environment, the noises and the sound distracts them from working. But if you know that, if you can't take him out of the open office environment, he can make sure that he listens to great music while he's working, and that will help him to be so much more productive.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Fascinating. Heleen, when we come back, I want us to go deeper into how can we, as you and myself and other professionals, using the tool like that, help our country in the area of education through the genetic brain profiling, in the area of career guidance, in the area of better managing teams, equipping teams with self-knowledge, and lastly, then at the end, how can the people get a hold of you to engage with you on this powerful tool? I'm sure that will be great, because that is really the objective of this platform. I will be back just now with you, and we continue.
Thank you.